Ito ang balita ngayon. Trending ngayon sa social media. Inisa-isa ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos Jr. ang prioridad ng kanyang administrasyon sa mga susunod na taon. Sa harap ng Manila Overseas Press Club, tiniyak din ng Pangulo ang proteksyon ng media laban sa anumang uri ng kaharasan upang malaya nilang magampanan ang tungkulin. Ibinahaging muli ni President Bongbong Marcos Jr. ang mga prioridad ng kanyang administrasyon sa mga susunod na taon sa isang pagtitipon na inorganisa ng Manila Overseas Press Club na binubuo sa higit na 400 mamamahayag businessman sa bansa. Sinabi niya na kapag bigay na ang Department of Agriculture ng mga high-quality seeds at fertilizer sa mga magsasaka at iba pang ayuda sa mga mangingisda bilang pagtugon sa kampanya ng kanyang administrasyon na maabot ang food security at post-pandemic growth sa bansa. Ibinahagi din ng Pangulo na naisulong niya ang agriculture cooperation at trade investment sa bansa sa kanyang mga work visit sa Indonesia, Singapore at US nitong nakaraang buwan. Ito rin ani ang isa sa pinakamahalagang nakamit niya sa unang 100 araw ng kanyang administrasyon.
This is the coming out party for the world. It's not just the Philippines that's coming out of the pandemic. This is how we can help each other. Because not any one country is going to manage this transformation by themselves.
Kinilala din ng Pangulo ang papel ng media kabilang ang MOPC sa pagpapakalat ng tamang impormasyon sa publiko.
For all our vision and aspiration, I underscore the crucial role of the press in building an active citizen, one that contributes to the development of our society. The nation counts on media in improving access to information and increasing awareness on issues that affect our country and the world. Your proactive participation in keeping well-informed citizenry forms part of our collective goal to empower Filipinos and establish a more robust Philippines.
Ipinangako naman ng Pangulo na susuportahan at proprotektahan niya ang karapatan ng media upang magawa nito ang tungkulin nitong magbigay ng impormasyon tungkol sa mga proyekto ng pamahalaan. Samantala, sa kaugnay pang balita, tila napatameme at nabulaga ang mainstream media at si Ivan Mayrina ng GMA7 matapos harap-harapang sinagot ni President Bongbong Marcos Jr. Narito at panoorin natin ang full video.
Next question from Ivan Mayrina. Thank you very much, my friend and compadre-kit.
Magandang gabi po, Ginoong Pangulo. Good evening to everyone. Ako po si Ivan Mayrina of GMA7. Mr. President, you will mark your 100th day in office in 2 days. What would you consider your accomplishments? What are the things that you wish you could have done? And what will you do, if any? What will you do differently?
Well, I would say that I don't know if I would myself term them as accomplishments. It's very early on in a term, but nonetheless, I think what we have managed to do in the first 100 days is put together a government which is functional and which has a very, very good idea of what we are targeting in terms of strict economic targets, for example, in terms of the numbers of growth, the numbers of our different measures, the different metrics that we are using for the economy. But beyond that, I think that we still continue to enjoy that the unifying force that the elections became. Generally speaking, elections are polarizing. And of course, and even in this case, it was polarizing, but at least a very strong majority made itself felt. And I think that is something that we continue to use as our foundation. And with that, what the promises that were made during the campaign, for example, that we bring the best and the brightest, and we do not look at color in terms of political color, I think we have done that. And more importantly, we have galvanized government once again into governing. And the one thing I worry about very, very much is coasting. Yung okay na ito, pwede na ito. We don't really need to attend to this anymore. It's going to be all right. You can all go and have a holiday. That's what I worry about the most. But I try very hard to put an impetus into government. Come on, let's go. We need to do these things. We haven't very much time. We have very few. We have very many difficulties. We cannot count on other countries to help us in ways that they used to be able to help us. So it is up to us. But I think all of those, at least in the higher positions in government, and even slowly, it's filtering down to the rank and file, are beginning to feel that no, there is a point to government. There is something that we need to be doing, and this is the direction we are being led in. These are the things that we are going to do. We are going to go from here to there. This is why we are doing it, and this is how we are going to get it done. And this is the part that you will have to play if we are going to succeed. That kind of message, I think, has filtered down to not only the elected officials, not only the high officials in government, but to slowly make the bureaucracy understand, make all our officials understand that we are here as a government, we are here to govern. We have been put here to try our best to pull us out of this terrible crisis that we have just been suffering for the last 2 years. And I think we have achieved that. So it is that sense of urgency, that sense of again, it is that unity that we bring people together, and we are bringing people together for a reason. And the reason is not ourselves, it's not our families, but it's our community, it's our country, it's our people. That, I think, we have returned into government. I think that's the most important thing. On a more practical level, I believe that the engagements that we have had with ASEAN countries such as Indonesia and Singapore, and then eventually our contacts that we renewed. The nice thing is the Philippines has many friends around the world, and these contacts and friendships we have been able to renew. But I think since this is the coming out party for the world, it's not just the Philippines that's coming out of the pandemic. This is the coming out party for the Philippines, and we are able to explain this is what the Philippines is now. This is what the Philippines looks like after 2.5 years of crisis. This is what the Philippines is doing, and this is how we can help each other. Because not any one country is going to manage this transformation by themselves. And we will need each other's help. The interconnectivity of the global economy was brought home in a very convincing way by the war in Ukraine. Even in the UN, I would talk to the other leaders and I say, who would have thought that the war in Eastern Europe would affect the Philippines halfway around the world? In the gut, in the food supply, fertilizer prices, seedling prices, fuel, all of these things. You never imagined that such a thing would happen, but here it is, and here we are. And so it was very, very important for us to find our place now in the world, and to define that place, and to explain that to the rest of the world, especially our friends, but also those who have not been considered as particularly close partners or allies. But we have been able to show that the Philippines is standing on its feet. The Philippines continues to have its aspirations and its dreams, and we are willing to do our part in making those dreams come true. And the partnerships, once again, are going to be important, and we invite you to join us. So that is one thing we have staked our place in the community of nations. I think that has been very, very important. The other, I suppose, we have started the struggle. We were able, I suppose, in the first 100 days, actually the first 60 days, maybe 50 days, we were putting out fires. We were just trying to make things work, because suddenly the problem, you're all aware, the problem with sugar, the supply, the problem with fertilizer. We were having to look to different what we now refer to as non-traditional sources. Senator Kit just brought up also this foreign policy between Ukraine and Russia. And we take a very balanced view, because the truth of the matter is we may have to deal with Russia for fuel, for fertilizer, we have to find a way to deal with the Ukraine for our feed wheat, our corn importation, all of these things, our livestock importation, all of these things have now become part of the mix that has made the world situation more volatile and more complex than it was before. But we have, we have already made it clear where the Philippines stands in all of this. And it is something that I made clear again to the other leaders, and I said that we are, essentially, we are driven by our desire for peace. And all the economic development that we plan and all that we hope to do will come to naught unless there is peace. And so that, I think, that message, and we have played our part in that, that touches upon the question of Senator Kit Tatad about the leadership role that we need to be playing. So again, I think we have. I remember the first time I heard this question. What was before was during the campaign. What will you do in your first 100 days? And I said, well, the first 100 days will be finding the best and the brightest to help and to serve in government. I think that we have managed to do that. I think that we have. I am always very grateful to those such as Secretary Ben Diokno, for those in our economic managers, those who are experts who have have decided to join the government, because we know that they are very successful. And this is a sacrifice for them. It is really all about service on their part. And so we are always very grateful for their talent. We are grateful for their industry. And to have them in place already, I think, gives us a very distinct advantage as we try to transform our economy for the next few years.
Mr. President, ang haba na ng istorya ni Ivan. Anyway, Ivan, if I were to write the story, and allow me to suggest it, just remember two things: unity and engagement. This is the first president to personify the meaning of unity. Unity means nationhood. Engagement is like in an automobile. There is a transmission, there's an engine, there's a driver. You engage and you move. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you, Tony.
It's time for some...
At yun na nga mga kababayan, ano na ang masasabi mo? Kung mayroon kayong hinaingat komento tungkol sa video na ito, please comment down below. Pag-uusapan natin yan sa comment section. Maraming salamat!